Good morning, everybody. My COVID-19 vaccination journey begins at 12:02 p.m. today, and wanted to just give a little bit of information about how they're doing the COVID-19, and then I'll do a little tiny bit of video, very long distance video capture at the vaccination site, just to show you, just give you a basic idea what the setup is. And a lot of the counties, a lot of cities are organized into a tier system. Tier 1 is those that are in high risk direct contact with patients. That's tier 1A here. Then you have tier 1B, which is people that work in medical facilities and support situations and things like that. So I'm in that particular tier. And then it goes down to those, I'm in the same tier as some severely disabled people are in tier 1A. Then we drop down to tier 2, which is general, which is the aged and those with chronic medical conditions, maybe not of a super serious nature. Then we start getting down to the general population, which is going to be, it's going to be a daunting task to get everybody vaccinated in that tier, because there'll be, well, in this county in particular, 700,000 people or whatever. There'll be a lot of people clamoring for the vaccine. And it's a rather short process, as I understand. For me, depending on your tier, you go into a different section of the vaccination center, and they're set up to have a massive operation, I'm sure, over there. And then you get your vaccination, and you will be issued what's called a vaccine passport. And it's very important that you hold on to that, because that will be your gateway to travel. If you can prove vaccination, you must be able to produce that card, so keep it in a safe place. On the front of it, we'll have the sticker from the batch of vaccine, a definite specific tracer that'll take it down to that particular 10 dosage vial, and it'll also have a place on the back. You don't know whether it's Moderna or Pfizer. It'll have a place on the back that has where you can fill in your next vaccination appointment. I made mine at the time. It's 30 days or so, the 22nd of February. I will receive my second dose. It's critical that you get that. Now, some people have asked me about the South African variant. Yes, there's not the protection against that, but that's early identified strain, and because it was early identified as so, and because a lot of travel's been cut off and monitored from South Africa in particular, it will be quite a challenge for that to become widespread in the population. So I'm not particularly worried about that. By the time I get my second dose, it may be built into the vaccine at that point. I'm not worried about nanobodies changing my DNA structure. The history and the methodology of immunology is very proven throughout the last 100 years in science. Inject a little bit of what you're trying to avoid and allow the body to build up antibodies to that. It's actually pretty simple science. The key is identifying which variants that you want to protect against. And as those of you who know who get a seasonal influenza vaccine, they try to pick 4 or 5 strains that they think are the most likely. It's almost like Vegas, trying to bet on which ones are going to be the ones, and then produce a seasonal influenza vaccine that will stimulate antibody production. Do they get it right all the time? No, sometimes they miss the variant, and you may get hit by a variant that you didn't receive protection against. And I know some people do get ill no matter what with an influenza shot, because very likely they picked up a different strain, or their body has set up a defensive mechanism to that. Hey, it's all a matter of personal choice. For me, it's been proven to me that it's advantageous to have this done for my personal health and exposure. So from what I hear, after the vaccine, you sit there for 15 minutes to make sure you don't have any adverse reaction. there'll probably be nurses and physician assistants milling around asking you if you're how you doing, you're okay, and they give you a specific time to leave. And you scan what's called a QR code, and that takes you to a page where you set up, at least in this county, and I think according to CDC guidelines, you will register for your next dose, as I did today. And it's important to have the follow-on dose. It's important to have that appointment. It's important to keep it. A lot of time between now and then for things to develop, but in my mind, any protection at all, especially up against the widest COVID-19 strain, ain't a bad thing. Let's hit the road. Right, this is what the vaccination setup looks like. So I'm heading in to get my shot. It looks like I'm mixing in with the older folks. Wish me luck. This is the waiting area over here after you get your vaccine. So we're heading in. Guys, there it is. My vaccine passport, 12521. Should be good to go.